I'm gonna blast this to the group. Don't even think about it.
All right, guys, we are live. I'll go ahead and pin it to the top of our group. And John, can you share it to our Southern CO C&C, please?
Sure.
The group. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, our podcast is live on YouTube, or our show is live on YouTube as well. Just got an email for that. Hello, everybody. We're just getting started doing sound checks and waiting on people, and we'll get started at 8:30. So thanks for joining us. And go ahead and comment and say who's here tonight, who's with us.
I just had to make sure it was actually picking up my good microphone because if you remember, I think the first one that I did on StreamYard, it just picked up one of the other ones, either like my PS4 controller or my webcam.
It sounds good, Hayden.
Okay, good. I'm not John over here. I don't have the Rogan mic, but you know, still a studio mic.
Yeah.
You're giving us an air of legitimacy. I feel like any like serious podcast, like somebody's got to have a Rogan mic.
Yeah.
Well, he is our host, our announcer, so
yeah, I guess.
Got to have the good stuff.
Yep. If we can get him another shirt, we'll be doing really good.
Yeah. Especially since Ken Block's not with Ford anymore.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
John's sponsored by Monster, right?
I wish.
John's sponsored by however many of those things he can lift out of the fridge at work. I used to work at a liquor store. I know how bad I did it myself, and I watched everybody steal Red Bulls. And then I would like ask the guy taking inventory. I'm like, how bad are the Red? He's like, oh, those are whoa. Like I don't even know. It's okay, Steve. I could say this stuff. I could say this stuff live on a group because they're not in business anymore.
The statute of limitations are over with, or
I don't. I mean, yeah, probably 5 years. But I just don't think they'd be really seeking retribution at this point. Considering that they're no longer in the business. Hi, Dave.
All right, we got Dave, the insurance guy.
Ooh,
all right,
with a nice hat. I don't know if you can hear us.
Yep, I can hear. My volume is good. Can you hear me?
Nice hat.
We can hear you.
Thanks for having me on board tonight, too. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now this feels like more of a crew, even sans Terry.
Where's Terry at?
Well, we need about 10 people to cover the gap that Terry leaves behind. So, Terry, if you're out there watching, say hello. Nod twice or blink once or something.
However it is that you communicate these days.
Complaints.
No, Terry's taking a break. He'll be back with us probably in a week or two.
Nice. Good for him. It's always good to do.
Oh, and we're supposed to have trivia questions?
Yes.
What is the degree of difficulty? Because I got one that's kind of a softball, and one that's like a slightly harder softball.
As long as you can Google the answer, it's probably okay.
Okay, that's fine. We're going to ask people, and then we're going to see how fast they can young Jamie it.
See, if we were looking for the right answer, then we'll have a giveaway. So
okay.
we have some giveaways. Dave's giving away a calendar. We've got some stuff from Auto Wash, some stuff from Elite Roofing. So
okay, good.
Haven't given away all the things yet. We want to do that. So who's out there in the peanut gallery watching us tonight? Say something in the comments. Tell us.
Please give us attention.
Yes. What's up?
Please say
How
something.
you doing? How you doing?
Just
Validate us.
Just type like a letter. Ugh. I'm completely blind to it. I don't have the comments up. So,
all right, we got Max. Max says hello.
Hello, Max.
We got Eric Bergman. He's on with us tonight. All right. We got Chris.
Do we currently have a PDR sponsor, Steve?
Yes, High Tech. We have. Yep.
Oh, we have.
Hail Medic.
High Tech. Oh, High Tech is ours.
Yep, Max and Hail Medic as well.
Well, I'll be respectful to all of them.
Do you need one or?
Oh yeah, I mean I've needed one for a long time, but really the golf ball effect, it makes the car go faster, so I'm not worried about it.
I think that's science, right?
Yeah. No, they did it on Mythbusters. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Did it really? Was it really add?
Yeah. Because it's
cool.
smooth. It's somehow there's some effect that it like smoothens out the airflow. So there's not as many like rough currents. So yeah, it's a weird little effect, but it is why, golf balls are all dimpled up.
Hey, Max says
cool.
Bring your car in.
I can't afford what Max deserves.
And we've got Josh Scott as well. He says, "Hey, Dave."
Hello, Josh.
Client of yours? I don't mean to embarrass you if you're not knowing everybody by name, but
No, I know who he is. Long-time friend. I've known him for probably 20 years, back from when highaltitudeimport.com was a thing. That was 2000, late 90s, somewhere back then. That's where I met him off of.
Wow.
Yeah. Good old forum days.
Running in any kind of internet business in those days was like real like frontier stuff. That's what a lot of the cryptocurrency community likes to talk about. They're like, guys, we're like dudes on the internet in the late 90s.
That is true though.
So hopefully that's the case, because that means people who hold it ought to do well.
And I think Matt's joining us, but I'm not sure when, so maybe he'll be here in a few minutes. But we will start here in just a couple minutes.
Classic Matt. You see Richard Hammond's new show comes out January 29th with Tori from Mythbusters?
No, what's it about?
It's kind of like a survival show. Like they get thrown on an island type of thing and very comedically escape the island, or maybe they just hang out on the island. I don't know for sure, but so it's pretty fun looking.
No, that sounds good.
Is Hammond's the host, or is he gonna be like the participant? Or
it's just him and Tori. What's his last name? Delachi. Yeah, they're just the two hosts, I guess. It's just a show of two, as far as I know.
Okay,
so it's them doing that
we'll
stuff.
See. Yeah, should be fun.
So Dave, we're supposed to ask you about your flat brim and bimmer.
It's not that flat.
He curved it's a flat brim that he curved. So
yeah.
he just looks like any racing driver right now with a Sunoco sponsorship.
I don't have much choice. I got a big head, so like the flex fits don't really fit right on my head. So this is what I get.
Oh, you got it fitted?
It's a snapback, but
okay. What are you about an 8.5 fitted? Are you that big of a head?
No, 7.5/8. So not gigantic.
Oh, that's not that crazy. Yeah.
But like the one size fit all hats, they don't usually fit the most comfortable.
Yeah.
Hey, Corey, what's going on? How you doing tonight? And Max asks what the topic is. We've got several topics. We're going to talk about the Singer Off-Road Porsche, the Stellantis merger, the Ford Maverick truck that's coming out, some other stuff. Different topics. All right, John, go ahead and take it away.
All right. What's up, guys? You're listening to the Colorado Cars and Coffee podcast with me, John, Steve, Matt, Jordan, Hayden, and our special guest, Dave Laurie with insurance. Here's a look at our upcoming events. On January 16th, a Saturday, 10:15 a.m. to 11 a.m., it's Mason's 4th birthday drive-by, where you can access it on Facebook at https://www.facebook.com/events/490-784-75-524-9331.
Make sure you write that down. What's the location, John?
But if you rather go to the location, it's the Safeway that's on Mineral and Broadway in Littleton, Colorado.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Also on Saturday, on the 16th at 11 a.m., we've got Ron Forbes, DJ at the Dairy Queen Drive-By. And it's at Southwest Plaza, 8501 West Bowles Avenue, Littleton. And it says to meet in the parking lot at the Southwest Plaza South Side near Bad Daddy's and Dillard's. And they depart at noon. So,
I noticed these two drive-bys not all that far away from one another. Just kind of down the road. You can just go from one to the other.
Yeah, you really could.
Yep.
Nice. Well, the very next day on Sunday is Ice Kana, so ice driving with the Rocky Mountain Porsche Club. Registration does close tonight at midnight, so get that registration in if you want to take part. But that's at Georgetown Lake. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been up there before. It's really just to watch and take photos, and it was pretty amazing. Some of the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
Some of our friends went this past weekend, and they had a blast up there too.
That was what BMW Club last weekend, or who was doing that?
Might have been the Audi Club, but I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's usually those three that organize.
Yeah, and I think the BMW
event.
Club's coming up.
Okay. I'm glad that everyone's getting theirs in because, there were at least like 2 or 3 winners there where I wanted to take the iX on one of these, and I had tires, everything was working good. I was ready to go, and they were like, "Oh, too warm, sorry."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, we're just barely into January, and they're getting them going. So good to see.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the ice when it's too warm.
No, I don't know. You get your 6-figure Porsche out there. You just hear ominous crack.
It's cool. You got insurance on it. Fine, whatever.
Would that be is that type of motorsport event? Sorry to get into insurance so early there, Dave, but it's a unique type of motorsport event there.
It's a lake. You just drove on a lake. Oops.
It happens.
Yeah.
So coming up this Saturday, January 15th, from 5 to 8 p.m., we will be doing a Tots. Yeah, Friday. This Friday night, we'll be doing a Tots and Tailpipes in Superior, and that is at 2400 Coalition Road in Superior, and that's of course, the Sonic. And I will not be giving out the link to that. You can go. You can find it on our page.
All right, and we just wanted to also mention motorsportreg.com, which also has a lot of the local track events. If you guys are ever wondering. So getting on to our topics, one of the ones that we're mentioning is something that called Stellantis. If anybody's heard of that.
That's the new cryptocurrency, right? Just came on the market. had about a 500% pump and dump in a day. That's Stellantis, right?
Isn't that island that fell into the sea off the coast of Greece?
Atlantis.
Isn't that the new Christopher Nolan film?
All right, everybody, you gotta get your step up to the plate here. Got to get your turn at bat.
All right, Jordan, what's Stellantis? Tell us about it a little bit.
Yeah, so Stellantis is a merger that's been in talks for quite a while. I mean, they were talking about it pre-COVID, but it's finally officially happening. Estimated Q1 2021. So basically, FCA, which is Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, a bunch of brands, 14 total, are merging with PSA, which is Citroen, Peugeot, Vauxhall, Opel, etc. So it'll be actually 14 brands total after the merger. So it'll make them the fourth biggest auto manufacturer. So Stellantis is a name everyone's making fun of. You won't actually hear it very much because that's just the parent company. All these brands will still be the current brands. Something that'll maybe be cool for us over here in the States is we might get some of these Peugeot, Vauxhall, things that I've kind of wanted. I'd love to get an Opel Speedster if they made that again. Over here stateside, but maybe not. They may just use this as a business venture, a joint venture to save money on parts manufacturing, etc. They'll probably parts bin more cars, and they pledge not to close down any factories or plants. So the money should be saved in most of the parts binning, not by laying off people. So that's good.
Hasn't it been all the way to since the 70s that the Opel brand was sold in America?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Is that true? Question?
No, it's not meant to be. But no, I don't see it happening. That's just kind of a European. I mean, you never say never, but that's just always been kind of a European brand. And I must have missed. I guess it's probably been a while, but was it around 2009 that GM would have sold Vauxhall and Opel, or was that more recently? Because they had a big bankruptcy and everything back then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh. I just hadn't heard it. I mean, I knew that they weren't going to be. I thought that Vauxhall was GM wasn't going to be making stuff for them. But anyway, I don't know too much about this. I just hadn't seen those two brands in a while. Thought it was interesting.
So this merger, does that mean FCA is going away and PSA is going away? Those names, it'll just be Stellantis.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if it'll
sounds that way because those were the two parent companies, right? So you merge.
Yeah, I doubt it'll be Stellantis as a grandparent, and then FCA as a parent, and then the children brands. So that's my assumption.
Oh, interesting. I read that that's a possibility that Chrysler is going to go away. Low performing. They've got a couple of minivans. Right? They've got the 300. So yeah. They
don't sell any cars. Why would they
it might be on it.
Yeah, you just named them
chopping block. Yeah.
All right. So going towards electric, as it seems like a lot of car companies are going towards. One thing we wanted to mention was the EV Cannonball, which the Porsche Taycan 4S did it in 44 hours, 25 minutes, which was previously held by a Tesla Model 3. What do you guys think about that?
I like Porsche taking all the motorsports records, especially from Tesla. They don't deserve them. They took their car to the Nürburgring and it didn't work.
Well, it's funny. These are the three guys that set the initial famous record in the Tesla Model 3 set the same record in the Taycan.
Yeah, I was just saying that this fella, Kyle Connor, as soon as I flipped, because I saw the record with the Model 3, and then as soon as I flipped to the page, it was exact same name.
Yeah, so it's that's not fast if you follow any Cannonball news. That's an average of 64 miles per hour across the country versus the current Cannonball record is 112 mile an hour average.
But it's not fair. It's an EV. It's an EV record. It's a different.
It's hard to refill.
Yeah.
Hard to refill those electrons, right? So
whoever does this is gonna have to set up. Whoever like really smashes the record is gonna have to do like hot swap batteries.
Yeah, as soon as they figure hot swappable batteries, that'll.
They were thinking about that for Formula E because the cars wouldn't make it, and then they ultimately decided, well, you just switch cars.
just swap cars.
Get out of that car, get into this other car, and then go race that car.
Would that still qualify for the EV Cannonball? We just swap cars.
I think it has. I mean, come on, it has to be the same car, right?
I think so.
But to be fair to Formula E, their cars do make it the whole race. So that is
now.
Nice.
Yeah, they do now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Tori. Good evening. How you doing?
So,
And John, before you go to the next topic, we'll do a giveaway. Hayden, do you have something else to discuss about the EV Cannonball?
no, not particularly. I mean, good to see somebody break it, and good to see that it's actually possible to do with the Porsche, because obviously one of the advantages to the Tesla is their charging network. So can't use any of the Tesla chargers, still can do it with a Porsche. I like it.
That's kind of crazy without the Tesla network that they still pumped out. What, 2 hours almost ahead? That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, right around there. You said a giveaway, Steve? You have things to give away?
Oh, we do.
Wow.
Okay, which one of our guys has a trivia question ready to go?
I do.
John, take it away. Everyone
Okay.
listening, please, if you know the answer, type it in the comments, and the first one with the right answer will get the prize. And our first prize or giveaway is from Dave Lowry. It is a Colorado Cars and Coffee calendar. So
Oh, nice.
listen up.
Yeah. So this one's about the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. The question is, what was the first year that the Pikes Peak Hill Climb was held?
Good one. See, this is the part where we really need some music.
Yeah.
We're just-
Like the Jeopardy music, or
the Jeopardy music. Yeah, the Jeopardy music is good. Final Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Except instead of just thinking and just writing something down.
Corey says 1911.
I was gonna say one of you better have the answer handy.
Eric says 1923.
do we have a winner yet there, John?
Not yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's either of those.
Riley says 1916.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Oh, we got a winner.
And I didn't know it. I had a different year in mind. So.
The only thing is, Riley is a moderator with us now.
We got to scratch it.
Hey, Riley. I'm sorry to tell you, but you don't qualify.
Yeah, no, sorry, I won't.
Trust me, our other admins and mods hate this little rule that we have, that we don't give giveaways to our.
I had
mods.
to buy my own. It's right there.
I need one as well. Yeah,
I know. I
Hurry up and buy one.
bought a stack of them. I sent one to Mom and some friends, and took one to work, and we have one here at the house. And
So this is the problem. This is the problem, that I'm not your neighbor anymore. I can't just come over and beg for free swag.
yes,
Hang on a second, because I got some good free swag from Steve. Hang on.
And Mark, you are correct too, but you're also one of our new moderators. So all of our new moderators and
Wait a second.
admins, you can't qualify for these giveaways.
Ooh.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
come on. That's the best.
Yeah.
That's High Plains Raceway, right?
Yeah, it's High Plains Raceway right here. So the only one that topped it was the raffle and the Lotus Formula One coffee table book. That was really cool too. But that was a raffle, so that's different. I won that fair and square by the chance of luck.
Okay, so good try, John. I'm sorry, our moderators and admins just totally screwed that up.
Wah, wah.
I will deal with them harshly behind the scenes after the show. Jordan, do you have a question for the giveaway?
Yeah.
Trivia.
Go ahead and take it away.
Let's talk about Mazda. Surprisingly,
Let's do it.
Mazda started 100 years ago manufacturing what? Hint: it wasn't cars.
This is good. I think I know this, but I'm not confident about it. Oh yeah. Thank you. Oh, Dave, who's not even a regular, coming through. All right, back it up. You're killing us, Alex.
It was not airplanes, but good guess.
Okay, not airplanes. Who else wants to guess?
Not trains, but that would be awesome.
Get on the old Mazda bullet train.
Planes, trains, automobiles? No.
Wait a second.
Some of the sewing machine.
It's a
Nope, not a sewing machine. Maybe it's more obscure than I realized.
I think I know it, but
I think I do too. Yeah, I have a pretty good idea, but I'm not.
Corridon is right. It's corks.
Huh.
Sorry, what?
Mazda started manufacturing corks.
Corks
Cork?
Yep.
in
They
a
have
wine,
a-
in a wine bottle. Wow,
Yeah.
that's not what I
Synthetic
thought it
cork.
was.
Huh.
Yeah, I was thinking that they were along the same lines as Honda, so motorcycles. But well,
so how many questions is that? How many have we asked now?
One qualifying one yet.
we had to throw one out.
So what was the
We have
first
to-
question? I heard all the. I came in at all the controversy.
Well, because Riley answered it and he's a moderator, so it doesn't qualify according to Steve, and Steve's going to deal with him harshly behind the scenes.
What was the question?
Pikes Peak. When
Yeah,
did this-
first year of Pikes Peak.
first year. Yep.
Well, first peak of the hill, first year of the hill climb. I assume the mountain is much older than
Yeah.
Pikes Peak was invented in.
something million.
All right, Corridon. I will get with you offline and get your address and whatnot so we can get that calendar sent your way. Okay.
Street calendar.
John, back over to you for the next topic, please.
Yeah. So next up is we're talking about because of the whole pandemic and everything, the virtual Tokyo Auto Salon, where they had like a almost kind of like off-road prepped Honda Fit, and then they have kind of a almost food truck version of the Honda N-Van, as I guess it's called. Have you guys checked that out, and what did you guys think?
It made me sad the Honda Fit is no more for here, but it
Yeah.
looked like, it literally looked like if Honda was to build a car for like Colorado. Like, what are those guys like?
Yeah,
Isn't that
everyone-
basically
I
how
don't
they same idea as how they came up with the Element? They were like,
Oh,
how
God.
do we make a car that's easy to sleep in and hose out?
What are millennials going to love in 15
Oh,
years?
Yeah.
I think. So wait, our
Pontiac
researchers on
aspect.
Instagram have told us that overlanding is huge.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Yeah,
So-
I have seen a lot of stuff about that.
I have, unfortunately, as I said before we started recording here, that I was a little lost when it came to a couple of the things. So I see you got a link
Yeah.
here. I see your link.
It's kind of a different year for CES. I mean, it's Consumer Electronics Show, so it's like, it's not all cars, but they usually do car stuff. I mean, that's where the Sony car was unveiled last year, I believe. So this year it's all online. But yeah, they showed some, I guess, Hondas that we won't get, but we can dream.
It was fun.
Yeah. Sorry, Matt, you're
Yeah, no, my mic was away. I said there's a lot of Japanese stuff we don't get.
Oh yeah, my first impression of this thing was, kind of looks like a, how people do like their Subaru Crosstreks, like, small lift and then bigger tires, but also just design does not look like it's designed for the U.S. market. It looks like a Japanese market car. I don't know what it is about that tells me it, but I don't know.
Yeah, Riley thinks the Outback and the Golf have taken over Colorado, which is partially true. I see a lot of them. I think I see more Golfs than Outbacks.
The Golf All Track is getting massive out here. That's getting big.
Oh, we're talking specifically that class.
No, I think probably in general, but yeah, that specific model. I'm just saying I've seen a lot of.
I think I saw more GTIs today than I did Honda Accords. So,
wow.
Well, Accords are the mid-size car is just, especially mid-size sedan is just becoming a thing of the past. Like everybody wants their CUVs now.
Yeah.
I see more GTIs, but I look for GTIs. I don't look for Accords.
I'm gonna start counting the Accords.
That's just the way it is. I mean, I look at GTI. That's kind of cool.
Well, you also can't count the GTI that is out front of your house.
Yeah, right. That's my son's. My son has a GTI.
You're just like, I see a lot of Giulia Quadrifolios everywhere.
Yeah, all the time.
Just in my garage.
I walk past one every day.
Yeah, weird.
So we should go on to our next one, which is
well, I will interrupt you there, John. Sorry. We'll do another giveaway.
Yeah.
So who else has a trivia question?
All
right, Hayden, take it away.
Okay. In my racing tradition, I must ask a question about endurance racing, and it is this. There's only one answer to this, by the way. Some people might say there's two answers. I'm being pedantic, and there's one answer. And I do have Facebook up, so I can tell here. What was the only car to ever win the 24 Hours Le Mans overall from the GT class? This is my. No, I'm not gonna. No hints. You get no hints. I just want to know.
Just the make doesn't need to be the model.
Make and model would be preferable.
Make and model, okay.
Yeah, but I could maybe give partial credit. Porsche 911 is incorrect.
Oh.
Although I will say that Porsche 911 was kind of what I was referring to when I said that there's two answers and one is not technically correct. Because it's actually not really a 911. Oh, we got guesses going on. Ferrari GTO. That is incorrect. That was not overall.
Honda Fit.
Yeah, there we go.
No.
I'll message it to you guys. We'll just give everyone else a second. I didn't think this one was too bad.
Corridon said they loved their Honda Fit, and that so it was basically not a lot of power, but basically a go-kart. And I've definitely seen people autocross them and love it. So
yeah.
It didn't win Le Mans, but it's a fun car on the track.
So Corey said Porsche 935, and 935 did win overall. However, it is a production-based car. It is based on a production 911. However, it was forced to compete in the prototype class. So it was the first production-based car to win Le Mans overall. I'm asking what was the first to win from the GT class?
I didn't realize that this was the answer. I mean, I knew that this one.
Yeah.
I knew that this one won, but I didn't realize it was the first.
Right.
Is it the only?
Technically the only. Yeah.
Is it the only? Oh, I thought there were others.
Yeah.
I thought
First-
there was
first
something that happened before this.
First and only. No, see, the 935 gets talked about like it, but because it was a production-based car, like I said. But just the organizers at the time said, no, that's ridiculous. You can't have a 2,000-pound, 800 horsepower car. We're gonna. You need to compete in the prototype class. I don't know. I'm getting crickets, guys.
Oh, hang on. Nobody else is.
All right, I'll go for my softball
one. Post 935, if that helps anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Post 935. I can go on to my other one. My other one is more of a softball.
Okay, bring up the softball.
The correct answer is McLaren F1. This is and here's my more softball question. I hope somebody knows this. I think probably most people on the podcast will know this. What did Lamborghini produce before they produced cars?
Cork.
Yeah. It's funny because Jordan came in with the Mazda. So yeah, what did Lamborghini make before a car?
It is not cork.
It's not cork. It's not motorcycles either.
Hey, Corey says
tractors is the correct answer. Corey with the Corey, you were going hard.
Corey,
you appreciate it, and I'm glad that you do my second one. Good job,
you
dude.
Just beat out Eric. So
that
Eric,
was very close.
Sorry, yeah, no,
Eric
popped up. Yeah. So Corey, you've won a detailer kit from Auto Wash. Just get with me offline on PME. Send me a message and I'll give you the details, but you just drive up to their location and they'll at their headquarters and they'll give you that detailer's kit. It's worth $130. So pretty large kit, pretty cool. So from our sponsors, Auto Wash.
Nice. Good one, Corey.
Awesome. So we're talking about another truck that's coming to the field. I'm not sure how many trucks Ford is up to. I think they're around 4 or so because you got the F-Series, the Raptor, the Ranger, and now the Maverick, which some people aren't too crazy about the name because it's a earlier Ford car. Also, the price is they're guessing $26,000, which is close to a cheaper Bronco Sport, which is $28,000. So it's interesting that they're bringing that out to, I guess, maybe compete with the Tacoma, I guess.
No, it's going to be. It's smaller than the Tacoma. It's a unibody, so it's going to be more in line. It's more in line with the Ridgeline, but smaller. I mean, this thing is not going to be big at all. It's the same platform as the Escape and the Bronco Sport. So it'll be
an entirely
all-wheel drive. I think supposedly the Ford dealers were told that there was a unibody truck coming out and that they were promised that it would start under $20,000. So 19,900. Yeah, that whole BS. But I guarantee that's going to be a front wheel drive version. If it's the same platform as the Escape, there's a 3-cylinder front wheel drive version of the Escape. And that's probably what will happen with the Maverick. And so it's not going to have any type of capability.
But here's the thing. Even if it's transverse and unibody, there's a small truck now.
Right.
Small trucks just disappeared. People they kind of stopped buying them and then they went away. And then half-ton trucks got huge. And then they said the Ranger
is the size of what the old F-150. I mean, you look at it's more in line with those. I mean,
which is not small. The old Ranger is small.
The old Ranger was small, yeah. So this is going to be closer to the old Ranger.
I like the idea. I hope that it catches on because
I do too, and I hope that this brings down. In a way, I hope it brings down truck prices because I know, at least where I'm from, back in Indiana, I know a lot of people that bought trucks that didn't need the entire utility of the truck, but just wanted it for the bed, which you can get out of this package here.
They talk about this. This is a recurring topic on Everyday Drivers podcast. Shout out to those guys. But a lot of people want to drive a truck every day because that's they like what they really like is the like size and the ride height mostly. and then they use the bed a few times a year, and then convince themselves that they need
It's worth
a
having a
truck.
truck.
Whereas, like, dude, you can just go to U-Haul and just get one for $20 a day. Like, it's really not a big deal. Like, or I think, if you're actually getting stuff from like Home Depot and Lowe's, like, or Home Depot, at least you can get one of theirs for nothing, I think.
Yeah, if you buy so much stuff, you get
Yeah.
that for 75.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
You have to have like an actual utilitarian like use for it, or I don't know. But it's funny to see in some parts of the country how many people just drive a truck.
Yeah.
I'm from Texas originally, so
Oh yeah, so
it's big down there.
Yeah.
All right, John, we'll have another giveaway. So this one is I'll do the question this time. It's actually a Ford product question. So our giveaway, let's see, it is going to be a bag of roasted coffee donated by Elite Roofing, and it's from blendedcoffeeroasters.com. So the question is, in 1975, Clint Eastwood starred in the movie The Eiger Sanction. What Ford vehicle does Clint drive? I'm looking for a specific version.
I've never even heard of this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
So
come in with
if I don't get the specific version, I may take the super generic version. But I'm shooting for
When I heard Ford and
this is
Eastwood,
about-
I was thinking something else.
Oh, this is about the Eiga. Like that, the Eiga, the big old wall in Switzerland, huh?
Yes. That was instrumental to the movie.
I imagine it is. All the pictures.
And so was this vehicle that was
oh, okay. I see.
that Clint was driving.
I see it now. And I've seen images from this movie before, I think, and I didn't realize.
And it was not an RS6.
Not my 1975 RS6 Avant.
Clearly.
But it was a Ford. So what do we got? Clint Eastwood, 1975, the Eiger Sanction, EIGER. It's a pretty good movie if you've never seen it.
If my Google search is correct, it's a pretty popular Ford model.
I would say no.
No? Then my Google
No. I'm answering a question. I'd say no, Corydon, not twice. We'll try to give some other folks the chance.
This is the problem. We assumed we had an audience here.
Come on, Eric. Here's your chance.
Okay, Corey. Well, Corey, I think you're a winner tonight. You're a winner tonight too. So, which is great. We got a lot of winners here.
Your odds are insanely good.
Yes, on our podcast, your odds are excellent for a giveaway. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. This is not like the Powerball lottery right here.
That is right.
This is more like eeny meeny miny mo.
Okay, Eric, come on. You don't. I'm going to shame you if you don't know the answer to this.
Google.
I didn't know the answer either, but I did figure it out.
Use the Haggerty guide or something. Come on.
I'm going to tell Zach tomorrow about this.
Just start naming Ford models that were out in 1975. Come on, it's not that long of a list.
No. Yes. Oh, he's giving out hints now.
He's giving clues.
Yeah, this is.
It made a big name for itself recently. It's coming out, Sasquatch back.
I was just gonna say it's a hint Sasquatch.
Oh, Corey, how'd you know? No, that is not it. I think
No incentive, not a coffee.
I think you're joking with us.
That Mustang Sasquatch.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, it looks like we have 13 viewers. I think a couple of them are our admins, but still, it should be enough.
I think Corey just said it, but Corey's already winner, right?
Corey is correct. And we'll end the question here, and we'll move on to the next topic or / giveaway. So it was the movie came out in 1975. It was a 1975 Ford Bronco. It was the special edition made by Billy Strop, and he made a Baja Bronco edition. I'll bring up a picture actually. I'll find it real quick. You guys see that? Yeah, so that's Clint with a shotgun. There was a chase in the desert. It was pretty cool. Yeah, but anyway, so that's the shot of that Bronco. After the show or after the movie, there were two Broncos that were used for the show for the movie, and when it came time, they rented them from Strop Motors or whoever. And they reached out to the Strop guys and said, "Hey, we're not going to send this." They rented it, but they're not going to send it back. They just said, "What's the cost?" And so they just sent them a check for both of the vehicles, which was kind of cool. So imagine Clint may have picked up one. I didn't go down the rabbit hole of searching whether Clint actually bought one or not, but I believe he did.
How many were made?
So yeah. Of this specific edition, I'm not sure. I don't think there was that many. I think one popped up on Bring a Trailer a couple of years ago. But yeah, they're pretty cool.
That's cool. Never heard of that one.
Yeah. Okay, back to you, John. Thanks.
Yeah. So talking about one of the most beautiful cars right now is the Porsche that Singer has been working on to kind of make it more kind of like rally, competing almost like a Safari 911 kind of build. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh yeah, I generally see anything Singer does as soon as it hits the press. But yeah, it's kind of serious looking.
Yeah,
it's aggressive.
I mean, it's more aggressive than like say Matt Farah's. I mean, this one really has like the big fender cutouts and stuff. So yeah, this is rather serious looking.
I am all for these off-road Safari Porsches.
Well, let's just say if it was in GTA, I would buy it immediately.
Something does seem a little bit odd about spending this kind of money on one of these things. And I know that even like even regular 911s were kind of pushing it, but man, just knowing what one of these costs, and it's like wait,
what did it cost? Is it in the article?
I mean, I just know what I would imagine this one's more than a regular.
I think they kind of mentioned the cost that you're not gonna. It's really expensive, is what they were saying. They didn't really go into cost.
And I think the owner has ordered 2 of these.
Well, so one thing that's funny, and if you've listened to Matt Farah's podcast, this is a point that he's brought up a lot about just absurdly expensive cars, and kind of the really halo level hypercars. And I would imagine it's the same thing with the really high level Porsches. A lot of the same guys, a lot of the guys that can afford these, they just have all of them. They don't have to pick. They have a few years back, right? The big deal was the LaFerrari McLaren P1 and Porsche 918, right? And it's like, and the big debate was like, which one would you get? Which one do you like? But really, in reality, a lot of the guys who own them have all 3.
Sure. But it did sound like the owner was going to actually race this. He wanted to take it to Dakar and Baja and all those different things.
Oh, cool. So that's
cool. This is not going to be just a piece of art. It's going to be used.
Well, cool. I like that. It's still just a lot. I mean, I know race cars are expensive anyway, but for something that you might break the suspension on a rock, it's a lot to be spending.
It's the difference between us and the 1%.
What?
Just that shifted mentality. They don't care.
Oh, okay. I thought you said what is. Yeah.
No. I said that is.
Yeah. I figured.
Yeah, Eric posted a video on Instagram, or posted the video shared on Instagram of the singer actually driving, and I thought that was pretty insane.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what? And this one is it's a turbo air cooled 3.6. Okay, I saw 450 horsepower and I was like, is that NA air cooled? Oh, that's expensive, but no, it's probably
and it's adjustable. Well, it's turbo, but they said it's based on its needs. They can adjust it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder how hard that's going to be to keep cool in competition. I guess you just have to keep moving. But, they have parts that it's like, dust storms and stuff, and there's, a lot of your competitors around and they're flinging up dust and you can't go that fast. Been following the Dakar a little bit. That's been ongoing for like the last like week and a half or so.
Corey, I'm right there with you. I'd take one too. Okay, let's do a giveaway. Who's got a trivia question?
I've got one.
Okay, Matt, take it away.
Who was the first American automobile company to offer seatbelts? Put seatbelts in the car.
Seatbelts.
Yeah.
First American company.
The first company. What was the first American company? Because the first company is not American.
Yeah, right. So first American, right, Matt?
Yeah, first American.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or type of seatbelt. Yeah, I don't know. I have an idea, but I don't know. Again, you guys' trivia questions are hard. I was expecting to actually know some for sure.
Tucker is incorrect.
And if you've won a prize tonight, please hold off for a while on answering.
And if you're in admin.
And if you're an admin. So many disqualifiers. I'm sorry, but
What about AMC
it is.
or Rambler?
No.
Neither of those.
Not AMC and not Rambler.
Yes, Nash is correct. Eric got it.
Oh, that's an obscure one.
So Eric, the prize is a bag of roasted coffee. You can give it away to a friend or something if you don't want it.
Most people like coffee, Eric. I think you.
Hey, I'm with Eric. I'm not much of a coffee drinker. I'll drink hot tea, but not coffee. But this was donated by Elite Roofing and from the coffee's from blendedcoffeeroasters.com.
Nice.
Okay, John, back to you. Thank you.
All right. Next, we wanted to mention some of our new members to our podcast, which is obviously Jordan and Mark. I guess they'll be joining us on a later podcast. Anything you want to bring up on that, Steve?
Yeah, sure. I last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, probably about a week ago, I put out the call to we need more help. We want to get into more audio and video kind of stuff this year. Break it into YouTube and just do cool things around Colorado. And we need more team members to help us with that. We also need and can use more Facebook administrators, moderators, Instagram content generators. All that stuff really helps out the whole Colorado Cars and Coffee. So I put the call out, and immediately I was overwhelmed with all the response. We had 30 plus people just say, "Hey, I'd love to help." And so we interviewed the prospective team members. We could only bring on a few because we couldn't bring on 30. I don't think I could manage 30 too easily. It'd take more time to manage than to do. But we brought in a handful. So we brought on Brennan Adams, Jordan Schleifer. Jordan's on with us tonight. Avery Howe, Steve Gallagher, Mark Gomez, Allie Smith, Harrison Farr, Calvin Ludwig, Bill Jones, Ben Jugan, and Riley Landis. And Riley was the one that answered tonight and will not win the prize. But we're really thankful for all the people that did offer to help. Even if we couldn't bring them on, we do hope that they help us out with if we have various things that pop up. But it was pretty cool to see the response, and we're excited to have these new folks on the team for us tonight. So I just want to say thanks to everybody that joined up.
I can't imagine having 30 people, considering that like that list that you just gave there was basically like more than double, I think, what we already had. Just remember when there was just a few of us, Steve.
Yeah, well, our team before these new members was about 15 or 16.
Okay, I guess that's
based on Instagram posters, based on our Facebook moderators and admins, and then based on some of our audio video folks. So we had about 16 spread across those 3 areas, and then with these new members, they went to different teams that we have. So that was awesome that they all joined up, and we appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, next up, we have our sponsor here, Dave, who handles insurance.
Hello, Dave.
How's it going?
Hey, Dave.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. You're from Allstate Insurance. So the floor is yours. Or if we have any questions from the members, they can ask. But we'll turn the floor over to you.
Right on. Well, thanks for having me on tonight. Been a ton of fun. If anybody has any questions out there, throw them up. Happy to answer anything. I've been doing about 20 years now. So I've been through a lot, seen a lot, experienced a lot. So happy to answer most questions. And if I don't know it, I'll find out the answer for you. Broker with Haggerty too. I've worked with them for about 3 years now. So great company too for all your collector cars and stuff. And they even do newer stuff too. Any Corvettes, 911s, all that stuff qualifies. So reach out, and I'd love to see if I can help you out. That's the insurance side. Me personally, I've been in cars all my life. First car was a 68 Camaro when I was 14. Me and my dad restored that together, built the engine, did the interior, did the whole thing. And that's kind of how I got into cars. And I think I've owned 30 some cars now at this point over the course of my life. Everything from 60s to newer stuff. I like them all. There's always something cool to like about a car, no matter what it is. I think even EVs, maybe a little bit. They're still, I don't know.
As Jordan sips from his Tesla water bottle.
I know I get the hype. They're cool.
Nice.
Maybe not for me, but they're neat for what they are. I appreciate the technology in them and what they do.
So you and your dad had a 68 Camaro, and you could pick one of those things up for cheap, because you sure can't anymore.
No, I got it real cheap. I think it was $3,500 is what I paid for it. Drove it home from Fort Collins, and it had some, rust here and there, but cut out the floor pans, put new pans in, new engine, had a 305, tired. But that was the fun. I had 2 years to, get it ready to go, and it was cool.
Yeah, it's good. So I have, if nobody on the live chat has an insurance question, I do. What do you think about it, since you are, you mentioned Haggerty? What do you think about like agreed value policies for guys like us, enthusiasts? You might have an old car that the market is going up or whatever. How does that kind of work to get into?
Yep. So it's awesome for all your collector cars. You're kind of going up in value. Hard to place the value on generic market cars. Those kind of cars. The stuff where you can't just go out and find 20 examples of near the same car right in your neighborhood. And with Haggerty, how they do it is once they start the policy, the value that you put on there is accepted. You don't have to prove it afterwards. It's when they take the policy that's the value you're going to get. And they just really understand the classic cars and the car people. They'll let you do the work on it yourself too. So you can write the estimate. They'll pay you to be the mechanic. They're not going to fuss and make you take it to a shop. They understand you may not want people touching your car. You want to do it in your garage. And so stuff like that. It's just, I've done claims on more unique cars through, Allstate on my side, and it's still fine. You can get the values for most of the time. If they're nothing too crazy of a car, you just have to do a bit more legwork. You have to go find more examples, broaden your search, and really the adjusters they're used to dealing with basic cars because the majority of our company is basic cars. So it's not their fault. They just, let's be real, car people, we're sick people because our cars are our babies and we just take them to a different level. And these guys, to them, it's transportation, and that's just where they are with it. So the reality is Haggerty puts it in care of car people, and they're not going to question why you did all this work to it. They go, oh, that's sweet. Let's get it covered right now so we can get it back to you. And they even have an option where you can keep the car and still get your full value. So whatever you have it insured for, they'll write you a check for that and get to keep the car so you can part it out, build it onto your next project, whatever you can do. So it kind of just keeps your hobby from just draining your bank account or taking a huge hit where you can't, you get set back in the hobby because you lost a lot of value or something there. So it's pretty cool.
It sounds like that they really, everything that they do is just kind of built towards, car nuts and just, guys like us, like they, I think they are, obviously car guys. So they kind of just come at it from that angle. And I've listened to a few podcasts with McKeel Haggerty, and I want to say there's one other guy from Haggerty that goes on a lot of them, but McKeel for sure. And I just love what they're doing as far as just promoting driving and just kind of their more recent mission, which was to preserve driving and preserve classic car ownership. And as technology moves down the road and we get closer to like a level 5 autonomous driving car, and that world, that we're still able to choose to drive an old car and keep it legal on the road and still enjoy it. Yep, big time. And like you said, they're total car nuts, man. And no matter who you talk to there, like you don't run into anybody that doesn't understand cars. No matter who it is, it's just refreshing because you don't have to try and explain anything. We did a holiday party virtually with them, and they sent me a Christmas sweater, had an AMC Gremlin on it, and it's just refreshing to be, especially with the insurance stuff, because that's the last time when you have a claim, you don't want to be frustrated trying to explain this, for something you've worked so hard on. It makes it nice. And it takes a lot of pressure off of me, because I know that if there is a claim on your car, I don't have to have a bad experience with you either. Like I make sure that your baby is going to be back to the way it was, or financially you're fully recovered and in a bad situation, you're as happy as you can be with it, Yeah, absolutely. And I almost mentioned earlier, and I didn't want to say it because I didn't realize that you're a Haggerty agent as well. But John mentioned motorsportreg.com. Well, that's a new property of Haggerty. So they are now getting into the almost like us events, business for them. But it's the go-to website for registering for track days and stuff. Like that's what is used, at least in this country, right? Because it's already set up for it. I've never signed up for an event that wasn't on there, in the recent years. Yep, totally.
There's a question.
As your car increases in value.
A question. Yep.
A couple questions. Yeah.
Oh, good. What was first?
Mark?
Yep.
Yeah, Mark's question.
As your car increases in value, do you normally adjust the value, or is there something that triggers you to update your policy?
So with Haggerty, there's nothing that triggers it, but we can update it anytime. They keep monitoring the market. So as prices go up, they're keeping in tune with that. So they have records of like the highest sold price of cars, and they know what's in the realm of normal. So they have no issues. We just recently bumped one up on another car we put in recently of double the coverage, because just been a little further along than originally it was and had a lot of nice work done to it. So it's just kind of up to you though. So you do have to kind of watch a little bit. We're always happy to do reviews with you too and check in, but super easy to do. We just call in and bump it up, and they prorate it out for the year, and you're done. So super easy.
They really seem to have a good hold on the classic car markets, at least cars that there's enough examples of to really build a trend. Because you'll go on their website and you'll type in E30 M3 valuations, right? And you'll see like this graph with these curves on it, and it's like a fair one, a nice one, concours level, and like the whole graph over time. Like they really know their stuff. So.
I think it's going to last like 3 or 5 years too. So it's a pretty good historical. You can see kind of where the trend is and all that. So it's definitely cool.
Take your technical analysis to that, figure out which market to get in before it pops off.
Well, you can kind of start seeing that. So then you go to the real market and start looking. You're like, well, Haggerty kind of puts it here, but the other market, real market's kind of, trailing behind that. Now we'll actually catch up. That's the gamble. You never know. They're just operating on, the hard numbers now. The fever factor, I call it. If the population catches on to it, that's the unknown there. But like you said, you can at least see the trends of what they're doing and try and beat the curve.
A question from Ryan. Do they treat modern modified vehicles the same as far as agreed value insurance?
So they have, depending on the vehicle, they have some restrictions as we get into the newer stuff, Hellcats, that kind of stuff. I think it's 650 horsepower, somewhere in that ballpark, and above, they start to get just more restrictions or a little tighter, no younger drivers, stuff like that. They like to see other vehicles in the household, that it's not the only fun car, to help offset that risk. And the reason is they'll take a 600 horsepower 70 Camaro over that, because a young kid's not going to get in that 70 Camaro quite so easily as these new Hellcats. I mean, they're easy to drive and you can get in trouble with them real quick. So they don't have problems with that. They have different categories of cars, of stock, modified, fully custom, and they have different tiers within there for that. But I did a supercharged GT 350 with them. That was pushing, I think, 725 horsepower. So just had to have a conversation with the underwriters and talk to them about it. And they balanced it. We had that in an RS3 on there, a modified RS3 with it. So again, they take all sorts of cars. The biggest parameters are car has to be garaged, and you have to have at least one primary vehicle per adult operator in the household. So if you have a husband and wife, you need 2 primary cars and then the Hagerty qualifying car. You can't have one car and then a Hagerty car and that's it, because they're going to say, well, there's 2 drivers. You're kind of one for one. We need the odds to go the other way. So those are the 2 things. And then from there, most of our car scene people are going to qualify with their cars. We can do 80s, 90s cars, early 2000s. I mean, sounds like a collector car and pretty cool. Generally, they're going to take it for the most part.
Yeah, I just switched my Miata over to you under Hagerty, and it was probably the most refreshing insurance experience I've had ever.
It's cool, isn't it?
So easy. Oh yeah,
it's just nice.
Yeah. It was
tell me
so
what the car
easy.
is. Boom, you're done. It's covered. And, it's nice. Annual policies, great rates. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So Mark has a question about umbrella policy. Should you be notifying the Allstate agent that you have Hagerty for your other cars?
You would. You want to do 2 things. You would want to notify them, because there's a spot where you ask if you have any other vehicles outside the Allstate network. There's a little bit of cost for that, but it's not a big deal. It's cheap there. The other thing you want to do is make sure your Hagerty policy has at least 250, 500 liability limits, the underlying limits required for the umbrella. If you don't, they're going to make you make up that gap. So they'll still kick in the umbrella after those limits. But if you're only carrying, let's say, 100, 300 on your Hagerty, you're going to have to cover the difference from $100,001 up to $250,000. And then the umbrella will take care of the additional $1 million from there. So definitely notify, of the additional cars outside the Allstate family. And then make sure you're carrying the correct underlying limits so you don't get hemmed up there sometime.
Another, if we don't have another one on deck on Facebook, I have this is just a more personal interest of mine, and maybe it's a little too obscure, or you don't know too much about what's going on with this. But have you heard of what do you think of, or are you familiar with insurance going more like decentralized? Like, one of the things that they're doing with some cryptocurrencies is called decentralized finance, where you can borrow from pools at a set rate, and it's all verified, who's getting the interest, who's being paid in the interest back, and who's actually taking on the loan and whatever. And I think that some of that is getting moved to insurance. Have you heard anything about this on your end?
I've heard of some talks of like manufacturers taking over insurance. Tesla, Apple, they start to come out with cars, kind of that stuff. Some manufacturers, like some high-end dealers, you pay $1,500 a month and you get to rent the car. That's all you pay. The dealer takes care of maintenance, insurance, and you just basically can switch the cars out for the month. So the next month, okay, I want to take the S550 for this month. Okay, there's your car for that month, and it's $1,500 a month. And you can just rotate out monthly, and they handle all the other costs behind it. So I've heard of some kind of those ideas of taking it off the consumer plate and absorbing it into the either manufacturer or the dealer just kind of rents the cars out to you in a way. I haven't necessarily seen the full, like you're talking necessarily, but in a way of kind of a shared risk pool. And even more so as self-driving cars and stuff overtake the cities, that's going to bring a whole nother, because it becomes more of a manufacturer's warranty than driver error. So the insurance kind of gets factored out. If the car's doing all the work, it's manufacturer really should take the warranty, or risk at that point, because the consumer's not doing anything. They're just getting in and going. So
yeah, they're no longer driving.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting things coming up in the future. Next decade, I think will be interesting. I think it's probably a little ways off just because there's so many. It's going to take a while to transition all of the country into that stuff, but there's definitely going to be a lot more of that coming on board, and just like Uber and all that stuff. I mean, there's new ways to shave costs if you don't have a need, just like talking on the truck. How many people need the heavy duty truck every day? Not many. So why spend that much money every month if maybe you don't need these cars all the time, or that if you can start finding ways to share that, or pay per use. I've seen some of that stuff. You put $200 in the account, and every time you drive, it takes a little bit out. That may last you 6 months. It may last you 2 weeks. So a lot of interesting concepts out there that you never know how it actually, rolls out, but interesting to see.
Yeah. So I think the manufacturer insurance thing, at least the first time that I had heard about that was people talking about Tesla starting a rideshare service. So that's one of the things that, because if you've been following Tesla stock, it's trading for a crazy valuation just based on, the amount of money that they actually make. But one of the things that is being speculated on is if they'll have a rideshare service. And I think that if that's the case, it is definitely best to also just insure the cars if you can get that done. But no, I was talking about more of like from a completely decentralized perspective, not completely, obviously, because there has to be some sort of human touch in there somewhere for, the full system. But as far as just kind of like the, liquidity pools and, actual like money that's being used to underwrite insurance. But yeah. It's a weird thing. I wasn't sure if you had.
No, I haven't heard anything, but I'll keep my ears open because that's interesting. And
yeah, I'll see if I can find out more about the insurance side of it specifically, and
cool.
And send that over to you.
Yeah, cool.
And I see Steve said that we got a couple more questions here.
There's a few good questions in there. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes, I see one about glass coverage. Every company's gonna be a little different there. Allstate, we do it with a zero deductible and comprehensive. We don't have any separate glass coverage. For better or worse, sometimes that's cool because when you have it separate, because you can run a higher comprehensive deductible, sometimes helps on the cost that way. Cool thing with us with the zero is it's a zero deductible for glass, also for hail damage, wind, theft, fire, hail, vandalism, flying objects, all that good stuff. So better part is comprehensive claims don't count against you, so you can turn those claims in. You don't have to worry about your rates going up, seeing a loss of discount. So that zero deductible is a little more enticing, and it's cooler to have on those claims because you're going to use that part or not feel bad about using it. So I like the zero deductible with Allstate. Gets you the free glass coverage, doesn't count against you. It's not going to lose your discounts or anything. But each company is a little different. We do chip repair for free with Allstate. So no matter what deductible you carry on comprehensive, as long as you have it, we will waive your deductible for chip repair. It's just for replacement that it would your deductible would apply with us.
That stuff is so nice to have.
It is in Colorado.
You don't even worry. Yeah, especially here because we get our windshields and the body gets
on the road.
Everything it gets beat up by everything.
Yep. Between the hail and the rocks on the road, it usually works out in your favor. Now the cost is going up because that's where all the claims in Colorado are coming from,
right?
Hail and all that, but that kind of justifies the reason to have a lower deductible because I don't know, it's a toss up. You always got to weigh out the cost ratios and see what makes the most sense. But yeah.
And I see Doc asks, does the standard Hagerty auto insurance cover autocross and HPDE?
No racing. And they offer racing insurance, but not in Colorado. I yelled at them over Christmas. They said, any questions? So, yeah, when are we getting the racing policy here? Come on, guys. Like that would be huge. And nothing yet. So
does it, but they do, it is pretty easy to find in other states through motorsportreg.com, right?
And High Plains actually did partner up. I don't know how they got it through, but High Plains does have someone you can buy a policy through for that day. Like you said, through Motorsport Reg, I think. It's not through Hagerty. I questioned him, and I'm going to keep pushing on him. Every time I talk to him, I ask him about it these days because it'd just be a huge benefit. We're growing out here. We need it. And
it would be nice for Haggerty to offer something, but it's good that it is available in general.
Eric, are you listening? Eric, get us the track policy. He's out. He's logging out.
He's like, that's it.
Well, gotta go.
You need a track policy, man. You hit one of these barriers or something, that's not good.
No,
they make you pay. They make you pay for these.
And I've heard that. I've heard it's very expensive to crash on that track.
Yeah, what other track charges for barrier repair, and I was more surprised by it, is Watkins Glen. Because there's an uphill S's section that, not in HPDEs, I don't think, but in races, cars will crash into the barriers just because it's kind of like the Nürburgring in that section. The track is wider, but there's just kind of grass and an Armco barrier on the outside.
So, Dave, although Haggerty doesn't offer it, what are your recommendations as far as track insurance here in Colorado? Not specifically companies, but just in general, what would you recommend?
Yeah, so if they offer one at the track there, buy that one. Most insurance companies aren't going to offer any coverage while on the track. Outside the track, you're good. Some companies will cancel you if they know you're racing with the car, whether you're on the track or off the track. I don't want to name names, but just double check with your company. Allstate does not do that. If you're racing, we're not going to cover you at the track. Now, to and from the track, regular driving, we don't care. If you race in your hobby time, we're not going to take it as a race car and say we're canceling your coverage. But
so what about high performance drivers event, HPDE versus actual racing? What if you're out there with an instructor trying to learn how to have fun with the car, that kind of thing? It's not racing. It's not timed. Because a lot of times with our car clubs, they say, this is not a time trial. This is not racing.
I would say that'd be a conversation to have with your agent, Steve, and it would be how you'd word it, because if you're not racing, you're not racing. So I would leave it that way. If you're not at a track, in a paddock, that sort of thing, you would have to have a conversation with your agent and tell the exact specifics about that situation and see. But that's kind of what they're looking at is, at a track versus not a track would be the best way I could probably describe that.
That's what I figured, because public road versus a racetrack. Even though it's like an instructional thing, it's still kind of like on as far as risk goes to the insurance company, it's basically the same.
Yeah, that's how I would see it. Now, again, during an actual scenario, you would have to do some research for sure. But again, in kind of the quick online internet answer, if you're not at a track, you're not at a track, and that's kind of how I see it. Simple is a good answer usually with insurance.
And Steve, we don't know anybody that goes out onto the track and tries so hard that they spin it, their first couple days, do we?
Oh, no. Next question.
I was just had that teed up. I was just waiting. Man. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if it does contribute to it or not, but that was one. It is one of the things that I've always wondered about street racing is like, would these people be more motivated to go learn how to really drive a car fast around a variety of corners than the I-25 street racing if it wasn't as easy as like, well, I have to pay all this money to go to just get on the racetrack, and B, if I crash here, I was just driving. I don't know what happened.
And just as I can't see the usernames here, but anytime you're at a track racing event, there's a gamble that you're playing with fire a little bit. Just understand that part. There's no guarantee.
Always, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That's the reality is. They just don't like it, and most policies have racing excluded in there. I had a customer crash while street racing, not fully, but it was like 4 a.m. on Broncos Parkway. Yeah, what are you doing? It was like 100 miles an hour in a Beamer and stuff, and we ended up covering the claim. So, it's they put the word in there, but it's going to be case by case scenario, and they're going to look at all the facts and try and determine, the full parameters, I think, of things.
And we don't want to commit insurance fraud. That's not good.
Yeah, you always have to be truthful with any.
Be honest.
Yeah.
So I guess with tagging on to Hayden's question about street racing, how does, if there's an accident and there's an excessive speed, is that factored into the payout or the what the insurance company does? How's that look?
Yeah, so I've never run into that. Just like a DUI accident, we're still going to pay. We're not going to punish the other people for what you're doing. We're still going to make sure the other people are taken care of. Outside of excluded drivers, that sort of thing. With that, now where it can get excluded again is repairing the own car. So they'll still take care of the other party. If they have an exclusion in there, you'd have to read your own policy to see about street racing or something. That's where they could get you, though, is say, yeah, we'll pay liability, but we're not paying collision at that point because you brought too much liability, you changed the risk on us. So they could deny that if they have some exclusions for street racing or something like that. But generally, they're not going to make the innocent people pay. They'll still cover that part.
Oh yeah, for sure. I meant mostly the ones that caused the accident doing the street race.
I have a piggyback off of that. So in the age of social media, do insurance companies actively look for video evidence of things like that?
I don't know for sure. I don't get privy to that side of it, but I would like to believe they're definitely searching.
Sure.
I mean, they're looking for fraud. They're looking for people who are trying to cheat them out of their money. I mean, they're financially incentivized to look for that sort of thing. So I have to think so.
Every hurdle you run into in insurance and everything you say, this is the stupidest rule ever, is because someone tried to fraud somebody. They tried to game the system there. So they had to put this crazy rule in. So they assume everyone's probably lying to them anymore. And it sucks because it's the bad apples, made it hard for everybody. Not that they want to believe that, but they just have to double check sometimes. And if facts don't line up or something just seems off, they'll go sniffing around and see maybe what's out there.
Matt, have you heard about people who investigate, this is far away from car insurance, but health insurance fraud and stuff? They'll pretend to be people and just get people talking, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm working, but I'm still collecting this and that.
It's crazy what people will admit. Yeah, if you just get someone talking to a stranger, it's crazy what these people will.
Yeah, so I'd imagine there's a car insurance version of that, although I don't know exactly how that looks.
I mean, again, you have to read the policy because just because you're being dumb with stuff, they don't necessarily exclude that. We still cover unless you're being malicious with your intent. And you could say, well, you're street racing, that was on purpose. Well, yeah, but you didn't maliciously try to crash the car. So that's how they sometimes look at a DUI. Well, yeah, it's a crime, but it's not versus if you were, going on a legit go rob bank and on a federal crime or something, they start to look at some of these differences of how they're going to pay stuff or what they consider in the act of a crime, I guess is probably the better way to describe that or say that.
Let's look at a couple final questions. So we got a couple from Dan about PDR and conventional repair. Can you take a look at those, Dave?
Yeah. Can you explain the difference between conventional repair and PDR? So conventional, and I'm not a body shop guy, so on the insurance side, it doesn't necessarily matter. A claim is a claim, whether we pay, $1,500 or $2,500. The PDR is definitely going to help save expense usually. You don't have to take body panels off. You're just able to kind of pop the dents right out if they're not dimpled, is my understanding, or on body lines. Also going to save, cutting roof lines off sometimes. That happens if there's a lot of hail damage on the roof. They'll cut the roof off, put a new roof on. That gets really expensive. Kind of crazy too to think that your roof gets cut off and put back on. I'm not a huge fan of that. Or they do PDR. Or PDR, they're just putting a little suction cup and popping these dents out and getting it to look right and kind of making it all flat again and all that. But on the claim side, it's all the same. Hail claim's a hail claim, and not going to affect you on the comprehensive side. So it just ideally, it's a little less intense on the body, is my understanding, because you're not having to repaint and all that. You can use factory stuff and just make it look a little easier. But don't know for sure exactly. Is that
okay?
Insurance still cover? Yes, it does, which is good because we all get stupid a little bit sometimes. But.
Yeah, on some level, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, because accidents happen.
So
if we were all perfect, none of us would never crash. So.
Yeah, exactly.
We wouldn't need insurance, right? Yeah.
You would be in some other field. Who knows?
So, speaking of things happen, so I had an E36 M3. This was probably 10 years ago, something like that. Had a stereo system in the trunk. Put it away for wintertime. During the winter, I decided to pull the stereo out. So I pulled it out one nice day, started tearing the amp and subs out and all that. It got dark, so I pulled it back in, left the battery tray cover off, left everything kind of as is because I was just going to come back to it another day. Fast forward another week or something. It's a nice sunny day. Go to work. I go, it's nice out. I'm going to go on lunch and get the car out and drive it back, enjoy the afternoon with it. Completely forgot the battery tray covers off and all this. Cruising around, take a turn. All of a sudden, my stereo cuts out real quick. I go, that's kind of weird. Maybe I just had a wire crosser, grounded out, something like that. And I'm cruising. Okay. And I start smelling smoke. I'm like, okay, this is not good. I look around, it's getting smoky in the car. The stereo shuts off. I'm like, oh, this is really not good. So I finally pull off. I get off the road, open the trunk, and I had a coat hanger in the trunk that slid over, connected both terminals and arced, and caught the side of the trunk liner on fire. Melted the whole wire harness in the trunk, and we had to put a whole new wiring harness in the Beamer. It was like 7,000 flame or something. Wow. It was crazy. So, we all do silly stuff here and there, and insurance is nice.
That is crazy. I'm so glad you shared that.
I had a car catch fire.
Oh man. Yeah, I've done stuff like where like the initial mistake was like on that level. Like I just did something and I didn't put it back together, and then I went for a drive and something happened, but I never caught a car on fire because of it. I did destroy my friend Dan's oil cap though on his Cayenne. I bought him a new oil cap. It was like $30.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, it was fine, but it was just funny. They're difficult to fish out of a Cayenne engine bay. That's a tighter thing than you think. Like you think that it's like, oh, it's an SUV. There's plenty of room. No, there's not even an oil cap's width between the like the side firewall thing and the actual engine itself.
All right, well, Dave, well, thanks for joining with us tonight. This was actually really, really cool.
Yeah, this was fun.
Did you have any final words or anything else that you wanted to pass on?
Plug your stuff.
What's that?
I said plug your stuff. Make sure people know where to find you.
Lowry Allstate on Facebook. LowryInsuranceAgency.com is going to get fired up here pretty quick too. So I'll make some posts about that when that gets up and running. We're going to have some cool videos going on there and some other fun stuff. But yeah, if you ever have any questions, let's, just feel free to reach out. Message me on Facebook. Emails davidlowry@allstate.com. Again, the agency's been there since 97. So we've been doing this many years. My dad started it and all that. So happy to help. And if you ever want to talk cars too, come on down to the office. We have a practice racing tree, Hot Wheels tub for the kids, free donuts on Fridays. So yeah, just like to hang out and talk cars. So come on down.
Hot Wheels just for the kids?
Yeah.
For the grown-up kids too, Steve. Feel free to stop by.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
There's a girl, Tanya, in my office, and she laughs at me because I have all these Hot Wheels. She goes, "Are you serious? You're putting Hot Wheels?" And so many adults come in and start digging through, and every time they come in, I start laughing. I point, I go, see?
you know your clientele.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's cool. So,
but yeah, thanks, Dave. We appreciate that. Corey, we don't know if the Denver Auto Show is going to happen this year. We just don't know yet. And are we thinking of doing a live show there? It's not on our list, but we're not going to eliminate that possibility. So it'd be kind of cool.
It's certainly an idea if it ends up happening. That's a thing. That's a February thing normally.
I think it's February, March.
I want to say the last time I went was with you. Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm. I can't remember exactly. It's been a few years for me.
Hey, Steve, if that is an option for a booth there, let me know, and I'd be happy to cover the cost for that for the Colorado Cars and Coffee team to be there.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, John, back over to you. We'll wrap this up.
All right. Well, thanks for all the questions, everybody, and most noticeably listening to our podcast. We love your feedback. Tell us what you like and what could be improved. Stay in touch with the local car scene by visiting our website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube by searching Colorado Cars and Coffee. Well, it's time for us to grab our coffee and hit the road. That's it for us here at Colorado Cars and Coffee. See you down the road, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.